fortunate enough that Russell Brunson is going to talk about that exact strategy in his next book, Traffic Secrets, when he discusses the webinar chatbot I built for Allison J. Prince. So watch for that when that comes out. That's Webinar Chatbot 1.0. I'm talking about Webinar Chatbot 2.0 now. And I'm going to go through how you can attract your ideal prospect for your webinar by using live video. All right, so you ready? So here's what I'm going to be talking about. So this is the Webinar Chatbot Playbook. All right, I'll be talking about that. But specifically, this is the actual framework that we use, that you can use for your clients if you are an agency, or yourself if you are the influencer that does webinars. Okay, whether it's evergreen webinars or live webinars, doesn't matter. You can get 30% higher attendance to your webinars if you use a chatbot. All right. So, but we're going to talk before they get to your webinar, right? The webinar is already done. You've already recorded, or you already have your script, or you already have your structure done. You're using Russell Brunson's perfect webinar. You're using someone else's webinar structure. That part you already got dialed. We need to now, and you also have from that webinar, you know where you're going to send them, right? You know what the conversion is. You know what you're selling. So now we need to go backwards from that and figure out what people need that you can deliver in a chatbot that will get them to the webinar, that will get them to talk about and actually choose to attend the webinar. But even before that, we need to talk about organic lead generation. And that's what lives do. That's what live video does amazingly well. So first thing I'm going to do is talk about the content that you need to publish in your live webinars, your live videos. I keep getting those things mixed up. Live webinar, live video. It's all video, live video that's going to get people to your webinars. Let's talk about that content. And then after that, I'm going to talk about how you can get over some of the issues you might have with getting on camera and talking live to people. All right. So let's talk about the content. All right. You know what you're selling. You know what pain points your product or service alleviates for your audience. And you know the benefits of what you do. So you start with that, but that's down in the weeds. That's down when you talk about seeing the forest for the trees. That's down in the trees. That's at the tree trunk. That's at ground level. You're down in the trenches with your customers and teaching them and training them on what they need to do. That's great. You have that. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the daily issues, the daily pain that your prospects, your audience experiences that you can alleviate with free content. Okay, so you're not going to take things out of your course or your product. You're going to take the daily issues that your prospects have and address those with what you know. You already know this stuff. If you've got a whole course or a whole coaching program, you know what these people's pain points are. All right. So let's think about this. Let's say you're doing a webinar trying to sell your services as a coach, right? With businesses, helping them grow their business. Well, one of the things you're going to do is, what are some of the main things that people have issues with? Consistent clients, right? Consistent sales, consistent revenue, keeping their calendars booked, getting people to use their services and actually change their lives with your coaching program, right? Well, what is the daily pain point that people have? If that's what your course teaches them, or that's what your coaching service teaches them, go all the way back to the daily pain point. The daily pain point most often is regular leads, consistent calendar bookings, right? They know that if they book their calendar as a coach, they're going to be able to, whatever their conversion rate is, 20%, 50%, they're going to be able to sell people on their program and their packages if they can just get them on the phone, on a call. But even to get them on a call, they got to generate leads, right? They've got to give them some kind of value up front to get them to their call. So that's what you want to address. So that's one of the things. You're going to start with the conversion of what you sell and work backwards to the daily issue. So what would be the daily issue that you can address? Lead generation. You could do a live video talking about the 3 ways coaches can get consistent leads that keep their calendar booked. There's a video title for you. 3 ways coaches can generate consistent leads so their calendar stays booked. There's a title. So you, as the person who provides services to coaches, you go live about that. You talk about that. You do a video, and if it's going to be on Facebook, if you're going to do a Facebook Live, you want it to be 10 minutes, no more than 15. I would keep it to 10 minutes or less if you can, and outline those 3 things. Talk about them in detail. Thing number 1, right? You're going to go use live video. You're going to go to your network and ask anyone in your network, who do you know that needs blah, blah, blah. You're going to go into Facebook groups and you're going to say, hey, answer questions about lead generation. Okay, you're not going to try and sell your services. You're going to answer questions. That will bring you leads. People will pay attention to that. So if those are your 3 things, you go live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on Instagram, and you outline those 3 things with that title. And then you tell people, I've got the PDF for you. I've got the actual thing that I'm talking about. Don't worry about taking notes. Don't worry about taking notes. I got you covered. Just listen to what I have to say. And then when you click the link, comment on your post, whatever, you're going to go into my chatbot in Messenger and you're going to get my PDF. So you can always be reminded the 3 ways that you can consistently generate leads and fill your calendar. Okay. That's how you give value at the top of the funnel. Then once you've given that value, you go into your bot and you give more value. You give another piece of valuable content. Then you take your copy and you nurture them to your webinar. It's as simple as that. But almost every client I work with that we create these webinar chatbots for struggles with that first thing, that live video, giving the value, getting people into their bot. They just don't know what to say. They don't know how to go live. They don't know how long. So that's what I teach them. All of my clients, again, multi-million-dollar influencers, multi-million dollars per year. And we've been trained so effectively to use advertising that we've kind of lost the art of this, talking to people and giving value at the top of the funnel. All right. So that's what you need to do. You need to think about the daily issues, the simple, quick things that you can provide value, that you can alleviate that pain. And you need to go live talking about them, just like I'm doing right now. So these are the things that I'm giving you. Start with these are the things that I've outlined. Start with your conversions. What do you talk about in your course so you know what your benefits are? Then work backwards from that to what is the daily issue that your prospects have that relate to your course, because you need those 2 things to be congruent, right? You can't be talking about coaches and how they do systems and track their customers' progress. If that's what you teach in your course, you're not going to talk about ways to generate leads, right? The only way you can talk about ways to generate leads is if you actually are a coach that helps people build their businesses and get more sales, right? Those 2 things have to be consistent. But the things you talk about in live video that attracts exactly the person you need for your webinar and gets them begging you to watch your webinar is when you provide that top of funnel daily issue that people have. All right. So same thing with you. If this benefited you, if you found that, oh my gosh, that's what I need to talk about in my live videos, you need to talk about the daily issues, the top of funnel, the simple things that you can influence for your audience, free. That's not giving your course away. Don't want to do that, but it's free top of funnel content. If that benefited you, there's a link in the description that specifically allows you to get this PDF that I've shown you. And it will show you in my bot exactly how this works. And I'm telling you, this new Webinar Chatbot 2.0, if you're looking for a way to get 67% of your webinar attendees that start your webinar to finish and actually see your offer, join me. I'm telling you, join me, because that's exactly what's happening with the way we do our Webinar 2.0 now, is that of the people who start watching our webinars, 67% of them finish the webinar and land on our offer page. how many more sales would you be making in your webinar, from your webinar, if you did this? If you started with live video, the way I've explained, get this PDF so you can actually go through it and fill it out, and go through this process and create these live video topics. And if you actually did this process and got 67% more people to your offer, how much more money would you be making from your webinars? All right. I hope this helps. See you next time. Chatbot Mom signing off.